Southern regional colloquialisms. Sometimes I'm gonna have. I think I should get out of this group because they take me out and make me drink and.
You're nuts, huh?
So sometimes when I drink, I end up with some stuff, something like this. Slap out bacon. Sister was driving in the Carolinas, contemplating. She was southeast. She was out of Bacon, southeast of Macon. Little did she know or care there was a tear just south of her underwear, and Monty was there to repair. Monty, dear, be of good cheer. Repair the tear, but beware of the scare I feel will slap out of bacon in the near proximity of Macon. Monty clearly didn't care. He knew there were hogs making bacon southeast of Macon. Well, as fate would have it, southeast of Macon, two Letcher hogs, Harry and Harlot hogs, were precisely making bacon, or faking making bacon most all the time. Harry, what kind of hog are you? Queried Harlot. Either get over here and hog me, or call sister and tell her there'll be no bacon in Macon, because we'll slap out. Excuse me. Harry? Harlot? You're one fine hog. It ain't nothing but an audacity for you to sit there and announce we won't be making bacon around here. Here meaning around these parts. The mere sound of our romancing would be as noisy as hogs on a hot tin roof. Harry, shut up, declared Harlot. There's more to life than making bacon. Why don't you write me some poetry or porkentry, declared Harlot, batting her most beautiful and elegant eyelashes at Harry. Why don't you pork a tree, pronounced the perturbed, disturbed, and undeterred Harry. Why don't you tell sister that bacon is there for the making, but without good poetry, we're slap out of bacon. Slap down in the middle of downtown Macon. And of course, the moral to our parable could only be, without poetry, Harry knew from the very start he could do nothing. Harlot would do nothing but leave skid marks on his heart. So long. Write good poetry, make good bacon. This poem is over.
You got to read yours now.
Oh, God. Utopia.
Utopia. This poem number 2?
That could be right. If everything can be expressed in mathematical equations, why shouldn't a utopian society be founded in paradise? And why shouldn't it have to do with poetry, the oldest expression of mankind? And why shouldn't it have to do with educating our children? If there is to be a utopian society, why shouldn't it have to do with Joseph Campbell and the writing of screenplays as evolutionary tools? And why shouldn't it have to do with Ayn Rand and the writing of books as evolutionary tools? And why shouldn't it be done through our schools? If there is to be a utopia, why shouldn't it have to do and be founded in the Pacific? And why shouldn't it be founded in Maui by two pure hearts for the greater good of mankind? And why should it not be predicated upon a concept of world peace and known by the United Nations? If there is to be a utopia, shouldn't it be a composite of utopian adventures of the past, a composite of trials and errors and failures? If there is to be a utopia, why shouldn't it? Wouldn't it be better without rules, prefaced upon an understanding that we care for one another, and be as kind as Wide Garcia, as loving as Melinda Gong, as sagacious as Gary Kubota? If there is to be a utopia, why shouldn't it be as fair as fair? Why shouldn't there be a utopia? And why shouldn't its moniker be the Maui Live Poetry Society?
Why not, indeed? Yes. Amen.
You got one more.
Oh. Sorry, I can't count.
We're all doing 3.
This, yeah, that's 2.
That's all right. You're cruising.
I have just a second.
When people revolt and want to read more poetry,
What
what
can
are
you
you
do?
going to do?
You
What a
can't
terrible
stop.
crisis.
You can't stop a poet when they're on a roll.
Did you find
Okay,
it?
yeah, got it.
Okay.
A certain kind of love. I have a certain kind of love for Marette McCoy. It stems mostly from the courage she displays. Mostly, she graces us with pure dignity and joy. It's really very easy to love Marette McCoy. I have a certain kind of love for Terry Randolph. I don't think she knows the radiance with which she glows. I think she has a clue, but I don't really think she knows quite the impact she has with the wrinkling of her nose. I have a certain kind of love for Peggy Robertson. I regret her obvious potential and strength could not have a larger audience, for she's in league with Bill Clinton and Jimmy Carter, and I don't feel the least bit sorry for her, so proud to call her my friend. I have a certain kind of love for Ian Adams. Few people have the drive, courage, pride, and ability to cash in and decide just how high their tide will rise. I have a certain kind of love for Renee, and for the day we have in store with music, candlelight burning bright, on that soon-to-be Maui moonlit night. I have a certain kind of love for Melinda Gong. I know she knows that she's known it all along, and we came close the moment we met. I'm not sure if either of us is quite over it yet. I have a certain kind of love for the women of the Maui Live Poetry Society, the reasons that brought them here across the sea. Love for their compassion, dignity, poise, and passion. And so to you, friends divine, my most earnest, cordial, and loving Valentine.
Oh,
Thank you, Dave.